Yo, what's going on, guys? Crispy Flakes here. So if you're anything like me, going into this NBA season, I know a lot of you guys were excited and hoping for some normality, because obviously the past few years have been very weird if you are a fan of sports. Have that being, the NBA shutting down, the bubble, and all that stuff going on due to COVID and, just other factors going on and everything right, man? So sadly, it's not really getting better in the realm of every single day. We got entire teams, man, going to safety protocols and everything like that. The latest one as of this video being the Sacramento Kings. And it really makes you wonder, what the direction, not only of the NBA, but sports are going to go for the 2021-2022 NBA season. And how it gets better exactly, right, man? So for today's video, we are going to talk about that. I do apologize. I had an entire Detroit Pistons 5-season rebuild that I did. It was really fun. It was a really good rebuild. And apparently 8 minutes into it, my microphone was just like, nope, sorry, Crispy. We're not doing this today. So I do apologize. I'm going to try to do one sometime this week, man. But I was so frustrated. It was such a good rebuild, man. Okay, so with the latest report that the Sacramento Kings are now in safety protocols, and that after already being teams, like the Chicago Bulls, another team that lost so many players, what exactly happens next? Because really, there's three options. There is for the NBA to shut down, have that be for a week or two. The NBA going to a bubble, or the NBA just playing through it and everything, right, man? So let's start with the idea of the NBA shutting down. If that were to happen, it would be for a week or two. Me personally, I don't really think that's much of a long-term solution, because let's say the NBA does shut down for a few weeks, then yes, during that time, players are going to naturally just get better. I think, the symptoms last for 10 to 14 days or something like that. But the fact of the matter is that all these players are... And you might be wondering, why are NBA players, getting exposed so much? Well, it's because, they're traveling to so many different places and being around so many different people, because, you and I, we typically have our routine where you wake up, you go to your job, you're around the same people pretty much all the time, right? With the exception of maybe you go to the grocery store or something like that, right, man? But these NBA players are playing against different people who are also around all sorts of people all the time, right? So the idea of the NBA shutting down for a few weeks, I mean... The only reason I could see that happening is maybe just so they can kind of get a better short-term perspective and grip on things. We're okay, we gotta shut down. Let's just get things going. Let's put these protocols into place and everything. But the thing about that is, you would assume that the NBA already has those type of things in place. Because obviously this happened, back in 2020 and everything like that, man. So you would think the NBA be more prepared this time around. And we're already seeing, I know the Toronto Raptors were just listed as a franchise, and I think this is more Canada-based, but they are going to be going down to 50% fan capacity, right? So that's one thing right there. But overall, I just feel like a short-term shutdown is a short-term solution, because 2-3 weeks down the road, okay, you come back and yes, you might have limited fans and everything like that, more testing, but quite frankly, when you're around so many people, it only takes one person, right, man? So before an entire team can get affected and everything, right? So I just feel like it's a short-term solution to a long-term issue, and it's not quite the right answer. So the next part is just having the players play through it. That's where it gets so confusing, in the sense where it's okay, what type of message does that send, where players were playing through, or were where the entire world was shut down, right, man? And now it's only a year later, all right, we'll just play through it. That just sends so many mixed signals and stuff like that, man. I know there's a lot of politics and a lot of science too, and everything that goes into everything. So yeah, that one right there for me, just telling players to play through it, I mean, then it almost comes down to letting the player decide on that. But, a lot of people are giving, I guess Kyrie Irving, there's a whole bunch of, lists of different reasons behind some of his backlash and everything like that, man. But I don't know, what do you guys think? Do you feel like the NBA should just be okay, if you are a player in the NBA, you have the right to sit out, but if you want to play through things too, you're full on able to do that too? You guys feel like that's a solution, or is that giving too much individual power, because, you know, you don't want a case where you have like 80% of the NBA being like, oh, we're going to sit out, or even having 20% of the NBA sitting out, having to be a lot of the star players is really going to overall affect the product of the game. Which obviously right now we're seeing too. You know, when you have entire teams missing, I mean, I feel so bad for the Chicago Bulls fans out there, man. Like, your team was off to such an amazing start. You know, DeMar DeRozan was looking like an MVP, and then all of a sudden it's just like, well, okay, you know, it's just by entire team, like, you know, out for 2 weeks, which is a long time in the NBA, especially right now, because this is right around the time where you have your chemistry completely, you know, figured out. Now you get to the point where, you know, you have this hiatus, and it's not only going to hurt your team chemistry, but it just throws off your entire season, right, man? It throws off your entire season. Now, this is my thing about this. In this point that I'm trying to make here kind of also goes back to, like, why I feel like the Milwaukee Bucks and the Phoenix Suns both, like, deserved the recognition of making the NBA Finals, because a lot of people were like, oh, like, that was, like, the, you know, injuries and stuff like that. So many injuries. Everything that's going on in the NBA right now, everybody has to deal with to some extent. Like, yes, not every single team is going to have their entire team be put into safety protocols, but for the most part, man, like, every team is being affected in some way by this, right? So it's not really a situational type of thing. So, yeah, man, I guess, and, like, the third thing that's being tossed around is the idea of doing the NBA bubble again. I mean, the bubble did work. Like, on paper, looking at things, the bubble within itself worked. The issue about doing a bubble is that it's not as easy as just, like, you know, oh, you guys, you know, go and stay away from your friends and family for the next 8 months and play basketball. Like, there's a human factor to it too, right? Like, the bubble originally, I know a lot of players struggled with that, and it was unique to watch from a basketball perspective, but you do feel for the NBA players. And I mean, like, yes, I understand these guys are getting paid millions of dollars. I get that, but there has to become some separation from the business and the player and their health at some point, right, man? So, yeah, I mean, yes, I know a lot of people would go to the NBA bubble for millions of dollars, but you can't really look at it from that perspective at all, man. It's like, these are humans in the end of the day, and yeah, money is just money, man. It's a green paper, it's a substance, right, man? So it's whatever. But yeah, so the idea of doing an NBA bubble again, I mean, from a pure basketball standpoint, that's the best solution, because it worked. It worked. We have proof of that actually working. I just don't think it's realistic for the players, though, man. So at this point, I mean, if I had a solution, you know, I'd be in the NBA right now making that choice. But I don't have it. Like, I don't really know what to do with this here. What I do know is that I love the game of basketball, and I want the best possible product on the court. But I also know too, man, and that, you know, what we're going through, I mean, this is really new to just, you know, humans and everything like this, man. Like, I know there's been like pandemics and stuff like that in the past, but just with how the world is now, man, it makes you wonder, like, is this going to have a long-term effect on the game of basketball and sports and everything that we love, man, when it comes to sports? I mean, you know, I'm sure you guys know as much research about I do when it comes to COVID and all that. And, you know, we know there's going to be new strains and everything like that, man. So it's like, is this something that's just always going to be around? And at what point do you make the choice and just be like, this is just something that's going to be around? Like, we can put our best foot forward and try to contain things to the best of our ability, man. But, I mean, sicknesses and germs and all that, like, some serious stuff. It's some serious stuff. So, yeah, all I know is that I love basketball, and I want the players to be healthy, not only physically, but also mentally, man. The solution that comes out of this has to mentally be right for the players and for the fans and for everyone involved. So, I don't know, man. I know you're just like me. You just want the normality of sports back. You just want to be able to turn on your TV, watch an entire crowd out there, man, with all the players fully healthy, fully ready to go. You know, you follow your team in the off season. You see what happens with you know, who your team drafts and who they sign and who they trade for. You want to see that product on the court, man. But apparently, or not, I don't want to say apparently. Quite frankly, you know, that's just not a realistic thing at the moment, and it sucks. It really does. So I wanted to give my thoughts about an NBA shutdown. I don't really know. That's the TLDR. I don't really know. I have my thoughts, I have my opinions, just like you do. And I think you are in agreement that, you know, you want what's best for everybody too here, man. So, yeah, I try to be respectful in these videos. My grandma told me growing up, you know, if you want to keep your friends, or in this case, your subscribers, don't talk about politics, don't talk about money, and don't talk about religion. So I try to stay true to those statements, man, just because, you know, we all have different viewpoints, and that's my, you know, my personal opinion is that I respect everybody's viewpoint, man. So, you know, I think we all have the right to think how we want to think, as long as it doesn't, you know, attack somebody's personal, you know, freedoms and rights and happiness and everything, right, man? So, yeah, just know I'm with you all here, man. And I don't know, I mean, as a Pistons fan, my team's garbage anyway, so I personally, from a basketball perspective, am not robbed of like this great team. But I know teams like the Bulls, like, you know, I mean, you guys have been in rebuilds and stuff like that for a few years now, and you finally have this great team on the court, man. That's what I really feel bad for. So, yeah, that's all I got for this video. Just wanted to talk today, man. Well, actually, I wanted to do a rebuild, but damn, that stupid microphone. But it's fine, it's fine. That's all we got, though. Hopefully you guys all enjoyed this video. Just a little talking video. Thank you all so much for watching. Peace out.